Hi, welcome back to my Attack from Down Under channel. My name is Keith. I'm doing a contest entry video today for the Dreadful Minutes channel. And if you watch a lot of music videos on YouTube, you may know Rick from the Dreadful Minutes channel. So what he's doing, his contest is called the 600 Subs Dreadfuls Identity in Crisis contest. So what he's really doing is just trying to get to know basically yourself through the music that you love and give examples. So I'll explain further as I go on. So Rick from the Dreadful Minutes channel has the most amazing presentation for his videos. He's got the best thumbnails. So if you're not sort of into heavy metal content, just have a look at the Dreadful Minutes channel and just look at the amount of work he puts into the art for his channel. You'll be amazed because the guy does such a good job. He also hosts marathon live streams, and I watched one the other day, and I think at home, and then I think I watched it for about 2 hours, and then I went to work, and about 3/4 of the way through my shift at work, on a break, I just had a look. They were still going, so they go on. I don't know how the guy where he gets his energy from, but he also hosts marathon live stream sessions as well. The guy's got an amazing memory. For this video, I was watching his explanation for this contest, and he could just roll off all these other channels that he's watched, all the people's names connected to those channels, and I bet he knows everything they like as well. I think so. The guy is a legend. So what I'd like to do is I'll just explain about this contest a little bit. So as he said, as you get into your 50s, it's quite normal to have an identity crisis. Basically, who are you? Yeah. So he just wants to know the person, the personality through the music that identifies you, or the music that you identify with. So just your sense of identity, and just show whatever you want, basically. When I do these videos, quite often I think of, I don't know if you watch The Big Bang Theory, one of the most watched television shows of all time. Very funny comedy. Sheldon, one of the actors, one of the characters in The Big Bang Theory, he hosts his own. He does his own like video series on local television, and it's Fun with Flags. So every time I do my videos, I think I'm doing, oh no, here we go, fun with flags again. So he just goes through, talks about flags and talks about which countries they're from. So I'm just going to ramble on a bit because I think that's what I try to cater to the spirit of Rick's channel, and he's got no filters. He just goes off on one, and if he goes off into the left field, that's what he does. So today's video is I'm just going to roll with it, and it's going to be very Sheldon-like, Fun with Flags, if you know what I'm talking about, if you watch that channel. So I don't know if I had an identity crisis in my 50s. Maybe this is it. Doing these videos. So firstly, I'd like to my name on my channel. So that is Attack from Down Under. This is where I got the name from my channel from. So my channel identifies with this album. This is what probably got me into doing these type of videos, because I was watching for a while and I've never seen this come up. It's a great New Zealand compilation of heavy metal. So that, so just going with the name of my channel here. Another one is, of course, Michael Schenker Group, Attack. Assault Attack, there's my name there on my channel as well. So this was produced by Martin Birch, and he'd just produced Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast as well. Another one is Exciter, Heavy Metal Maniac. And of course on side, there's Side Heavy, which is the first side, and there's Side Metal. And on Side Metal, the first song is Under Attack. So there we go. Attack again, my channel name. And that is on Roadrunner. Right, so another way I guess you identify is through your name. And my name is Keith. And of course, in music, there's a lot of famous Keiths. There's the crazy man Keith Moon, the drummer of the band The Who. Another one is, of course, from the Rolling Stones, we've got old Keith Richards. And I'll just show you a little picture in here. This is his music room. So I've always liked this picture there of him just sitting there with all his records and just playing the guitar. Looks like he's got orange juice there. I don't know if there's anything in it, but. So a couple of wild men of music with the same name as myself. So albums, just going with this, things you identify with. So he also wants you to show albums you identify with and albums that identify you. So my birthday was in 1969, so yes, I'm old. This is, of course, Santana. This isn't the debut album, but Santana's debut came out a month after my birthday. My birthday's in July. This came out in August. The debut came out in August of 1969. Also, this Blue Cheer album came out in the year I was born as well. 1969. So some people say that they are the pioneers of heavy metal. That's quite a cool picture there. There's a song on here, Saturday Freedom. And so what that talks about is Saturday freedom 7 days a week. So we all want that, really, that sort of freedom 7 days a week. And it's a cool album. I'll show you the vinyl for that. Oh, someone's knocking on the door. Sorry about that. Just got more music coming through the door. So as I was gonna, that's the vinyl for that Blue Cheer album. And quite interesting, it's a really early, I don't know, sample record. I suppose that's a promo type thing, I don't know. So they were an early proto heavy metal group. Okay, another favourite son of New Jersey, like Rick, who's from New Jersey in America, is Bruce Springsteen. So I don't know if Rick likes this artist or not. He might just be sick of hearing it. So there'll be a few references to that and a few references to another band that I really like from his area. So I apologise if you're not interested in hearing about it, but anyway, it has relevance because this was the first record that I got. This is, I might have got a Rolling Stones one as well, I'm not sure, but this would have been at least the first or second. So this is Bruce Springsteen's Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. So as I was saying, he's from Rick's home state, New Jersey, and he grew up in Freehold, New Jersey. So my parents bought me this record. I'm not sure how long it had a record player. I don't think it was very long. And this is the actual copy. And of course, this has got a song on it, Growing Up. So identify with this record as it was the first couple of records I've ever picked up. And the Growing Up song, it can relate to this. When I was growing up, I grew up in a town called Hamilton. This band, Blackjack, and the album's called Deal. This is from a group that recorded this in where I grew up, and they're from Hamilton. So this album is Deal. Really good album. It's got a cool CD picture there as well. I'll show you. Another band that was big for me at the time is The Angels. And the song, they did a cover of The Animals' We Got to Get Out of This Place. And I identify with this song because it's sort of how I felt at the time. I'd like to get out of where I lived and just go somewhere where, you could just be yourself and have more fun, which I really wasn't having a lot of. So identify with this album, Liveline, The Angels, and the song We Got to Get Out of This Place. So if you probably know that song, probably heard it on the radio at some point. So like I was saying, came from that town, and both myself and my best friend Mark, we had really long hair. You weren't allowed to have long hair at that time. When you went to school, you were told if it got to a certain length, you had to go and come back the next day shorter. So what we used to do to combat that was we used to tuck it down the back of our shirts and our jumpers. I had long brown hair. My friend Mark had long red hair. He looked a bit like a young Dave Mustaine. So that's what we used to do. Nowadays, when I tell my kids, I'm just going for a haircut, they laugh. And I said, well, why are you laughing? They said, Dad, you haven't got any hair. And I said, okay, well, just take a look because this is your future. Song connected with that story is The Darkness on this greatest hits type connection, and the song is Bald, number 18. Quite a funny song. So I guess through that I connect to that. How does this music and how does it identify me? I'll have to show you some albums that I identify big time. One is probably one you already know, and one it's just a silly one, but I do love it. So I'll show you this one here. It's called The Party Boys, and it's just a one-off album. This was just a group that a few guys got together, I think just for the purpose of touring around Australia, New Zealand. I don't know where else they toured. And it's just like a bunch of good musicians just having a lot of fun. And I saw them live. I think I saw them a couple of times. And I identify with this album because it always makes me smile. And it's got covers on it. It's got a cover of Gloria, the Them song, and High Voltage, AC/DC. They do a pretty good job of covering that, but it just brings me back to the time when I saw this. I was young. I didn't have any responsibilities. I was having a great time, and the songs are just enjoyable and a lot of fun. Basically, a lot of fun. Silly. Well, not silly, but they're just for a good time type band. So that's the Party Boys. So I put this on usually around New Year's if I want to get into that good mood. Another song you might know of this is He's Gonna Step on You Again and Hold Your Head Up. I think one of those is Argent or that, but they do a good job of covering it, and it's a bit karaoke, but I love this album. And it never fails to make me happy. So going back to one of my favourite bands, and this is Overkill. They are a thrash metal band again from New Jersey. So this is all circling back to New Jersey, Rick. So the album is I Hear Black, and which is sort of is a great title for that. Explains how I got into listening to this type of music. I heard black, and I'll show you what I mean. I got into metal by hearing this album, AC/DC, Back in Black. So that was one that sent me on that road. And the other one, which I've shown numerous times on my channel, is And Justice for All. Which I don't have to talk about. So that's what started me off on all this. So another part of the contest is that Rick would like us to refer to some cover art to show who we are. Maybe your occupation, what you do, or things like that. So to do with my job, I'll show anthrax spreading the disease. Now the guys come to mow the lawns. So anyway, on the picture, that they're taking this guy away in an ambulance to the hospital. He doesn't look too happy about it. And I do work at, where I largely work at a hospital. Nothing too major, I'm support. But this reminds me of not necessarily spreading the disease, but medical mishaps there, I guess. There we go, anthrax. Another one when I'm thinking about my job is this here. This is just a 10-inch EP by Savatage, and it's called The Hourglass. And when I'm referring to this, I'm thinking about all the hours that we all spend at work, hours that we never get back, working just so that we can have beers in the fridge and, I don't know, pay your rent, things like that. So this is Savatage, and the song, The Hourglass, 8-minute song is on there. And I'll just show you comes on a really cool picture disc. So yeah, just all the hours that you've got to go to work. So another one show is, of course, Bruce again. Bruce Springsteen, Tunnel of Love. The reason I'm showing this is when I was in a hospital working, that's where I met my wife. She was a nurse, and there's not a lot of thrash I could show to talk about, meeting up and getting together. So I'll show this one, Tunnel of Love. That's where I met my wife, and then we got married. So, Son You May Kiss the Bride, Bruce Springsteen again. It's the bootleg that's just stuck on somehow. Got married. It's on a Bruce record. Bruce. There we go. So there's not a lot of metal albums about love and marriage. So I've showed you those two. So congrats, Rick, on your 600 sub count, and you've put together got me thinking, awesome contest with some very generous prizes. So one of the prizes was Toxic Avenger, I think, Blu-ray set. I've got one Toxic Avenger DVD. This is the first one. And this is the one that started it all, folks, featuring the full head crushing scene. So I will rewatch this again. There you go. Cool Toxie movie, that one. And also to tie in with that, there's a song on this Overkill album. What's it called? Skull Crusher. So I'll have to watch that scene where Toxie, I suppose he crushes someone's head or something. I can't remember it. It's been a while since I watched it. I have to rewatch that. So I hope that wasn't too much out of left field, and that was sort of what you wanted. Just wanted to make tribute to a great channel and a guy that just put so much effort into what he's doing and so much energy. I thought about doing a poolside video, but it's not really pool weather around here because he does some poolside videos. So anyway, that's it for my video. And like, Rick always says when he finishes his videos, keep it dreadful. So keep it dreadful yourself, Rick, and you have a good one. And thank you.